Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 24 of the Red Bra Project YouTube channel, our Women Crush Wednesday. Hey, Renee, how you doing over there?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Actually, I'm a little under the weather. Got my tea, but I'm holding on strong. So excited tonight for our guest. I think we both have been waiting for this interview. We are very excited to introduce Megan Ruffles to our Red Bra followers. And Megan, I'll turn it over to you and let you kind of introduce yourself a little bit more.
Sure. So I'm Megan Ruffles. I am the creator behind the Chic, which is a lifestyle blog, and I mainly focus on affordable fashion, home decor, all things entertaining, and humor. Those are kind of my main big points.
I love the whole umbrella. I love the humor part of it too, because Lord knows that we can all use some humor in our lives, right?
Yeah.
And Megan, I have to tell you, I got kind of cheesy for you tonight, but I wore, and I'm not a ruffle girl, but I have one sweater with these ruffles on it that I totally wore for you tonight. So
I love that.
I think the description of your last name, either the potato chips or like on a shirt, is perfect.
I always tell people, yep, it's just like the potato chips or ruffles on a sweater, whichever you prefer.
And normally I would take potato chips, but I took the sweater tonight. So
Like that.
yeah. Okay. So I love one of the things that you talk about is, you had said that you love to empower women and make them feel beautiful and confident and strong about themselves. And one of the words that really struck me that kind of grabbed my interest with different ways that you do that is your lifestyle blogging, but it's through things that is real life and easy to do, like affordable fashion. So how long ago did you start your blog, and kind of what made you take the leap to start your blog?
Yeah. So I've been officially. Oh, did I lose you?
We just lost your beautiful, there you are, your beautiful face. You're back.
Sorry,
That's okay. All good.
kind of clicked out. So I started about a year ago. So I've been doing writing for my blog and then also my social pages for it for about a full year now. And I had talked about it probably a full year before that, before I even officially started writing. I initially started the website first, and I wanted to just kind of see if I could do it. So I had been talking about it, and in particular to these two girls that I work with. And I would say things like, oh, that would make a great blog article, or that would make a great blog article. And I talked about it so much that they kept encouraging me to just do it. And so one day I had them over for brunch and made them food, and we had a couple drinks, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I created the website, and that kind of morphed from there. And so I wanted to see, can I do this? Can I come up with content? Can I write? And so after that, I created, my social pages. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest for the blog. So that kind of took off from there, for the fact. But one of the big things that I really like to do is what I call fashion three-peat. So I'll take an article of clothing and show you 3 different ways to wear it, because I think a lot of times, especially with Midwestern women, they really think about before making the purchase and how they're going to use it in their everyday lives. And can I just wear this one way, or are there different ways that I can apply it to different looks and get a lot of use and a lot of value out of it? So that's one of the big things that I do on the blog, is the fashion three-peat. And I'm sort of losing track of your initial question at this point.
No, that's perfect. I'm curious. So I know you mentioned the Midwest a lot, yeah, and the women and how they kind of get stuck in their fashion. Do you find that most of your followers are from the Midwest, or have you grown and it's kind of everywhere now?
I do have a lot of people in the Midwest, and that's not just Iowa, that's the surrounding states. But I have quite a few people on the East Coast and West Coast too. I would say my core is really, though, the Midwest, but I have, people from all over the country and even Canada too. So shout out to my Canada girls.
Yeah, you're international.
I love the idea about the fashion three-peat. I mean, how creative is that? And you're right. I mean, and this is kind of coming from a different perspective, but even if you are small or short on space, you want to think about how you can get the most versatility from your clothes, and even with traveling. So there's so many different ways that you can take that, and that we can use that in useful ways out here in the real world.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think too, really the main reason I wanted to do this, really is just my love of clothes. I love shopping in person. I love shopping online. I love helping style my friends and family. But really at the end of the day, the blog is not about me. It's about other people and helping them. And it's, that feeling when you're feeling good about yourself, or, you've got the right outfit on, your hair looks good, your makeup looks good. You just walk into a room with a certain level of confidence. You feel like a badass, and it affects your day. And then eventually it affects your whole life. So I just feel so passionate about that. And I think that every woman, it doesn't matter what she looks like or the size, of her bank account. I really, truly believe that every woman deserves to have that feeling. And I know that a lot of women don't. And so if I can help them in some small way to, be able to style themselves and make them feel good about themselves, then my day is made. So.
That's awesome. I think that, so many women can resonate with you because you are vulnerable and you share just your experiences growing up with, your issues with weight and what that did for you as far as shopping and stuff. Yeah. And so I think that is where you really probably draw your audience, is that you are so vulnerable with them and sharing that you've been through this too, and that they can overcome whatever they're struggling with.
Yeah, for sure.
Megan, you shared a little bit of kind of like behind the scene message from a woman that reached out to you, and I thought that was so sweet. So would you share it with us again and all of our viewers? Okay.
Sure. So one of the things I talk about over and over again, because I feel really strongly about it, is it truly does not matter what size you are, as long as your clothes fit properly. So I try really hard to always share the size that I am, because growing up, I had no confidence. I was painfully shy. And back then there weren't a lot of clothes for, and I wasn't even that big, but clothes just did not fit me correctly. And I would get so hung up on, I have to buy a size 14 pant. And while now people watching this are going to probably roll their eyes, that might be a bigger size than that. But to me, it was like the end of the world. And now I can look back on that and say how silly that was, that I let a number on a tag that's sewn into a piece of clothing affect how I would feel about myself and get me down, because it really, truly doesn't matter. I mean, it's a number on a tag that's sewn into your clothing, and it's silly. And so I try to share that and say, what, my pant size is this, my shirt size is this, and sometimes I'm a large, and sometimes I'm an extra large, and sometimes I'm a medium, and it doesn't matter. And so I had a woman reach out to me. She was shopping and in the dressing room, and she said, you know what? She said, I was getting down on myself because I had to buy, an extra large and large, and I was really feeling bad about myself. But then she thought about, some things that I had said over time, and she said, you know what? I look good in these clothes. It doesn't matter that I have to buy an extra large. Who cares? And so she bought them and she left, and I think she felt really good about herself. And so it was like kind of one of the aha moments that you have, like, oh my gosh, this is truly amazing that I could help someone feel good, about themselves in a situation where they normally might, not feel so good. So
that's so wonderful. I mean, because when you really think about it, when somebody has that feeling of confidence, Nobody's like, oh, what size are you? Nobody's asking that question. That's
No.
only
And nobody cares.
right.
I mean, it's like, I don't care what number is sewn into your clothing. Like, who cares?
I'm so glad that resonated with her. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. At the end of the day, it's just how you feel, and you can walk in, it's funny, there's some quote or whatever that, says, I have a 6'2" attitude, but I'm really only 5'2". But, that's kind of just, it goes all about with how you're feeling. And, we do put so much value on a number, whether it's the scale or the pant size or the dress size. And it's like, oh, if I can only get down to a size 8 or a size 10 or, whatever it is. But, think about how much joy we're robbing from ourselves. And I like that tip that if the clothes fit well, then that's really kind of where it's at. So it's such a big difference in the size when your clothing fits well.
Yeah. And I had people that I've gone shopping with, and they would not buy the clothing if they had to buy it in a certain size. And like, why are you, like you said, robbing yourself of that joy of having that piece that you love, but you're not going to buy it because it's an 8 and not a 6 like you'd like to be. So it's so silly.
Right.
I don't want to necessarily be your manager, but I feel like you could just motivational speak to young girls. Because that's where it starts. It's where we get in our heads. And even reading, your background, we are so hard on ourselves from an early age. And so teaching young girls that size is, that number doesn't matter. So
Right. Yeah.
That's
zero.
What was that, Shauna? You cut out.
I said 0 is not a size,
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of going off of what you just explained, Shauna, I don't know if anyone follows Cat and Nat out there, but just last week or a week before, they had put a post up about young girls, and how some are getting ridiculed at school because of their size already. And we put so much value on that. And it's devastating if you have to go out, and you're trying to buy clothes for your young boy or girl, and then you have to size up because they don't carry that size, or it's in the husky section. I don't know if anybody remembers that section from being like bigger, but I mean, vulnerable post here when I was like 5 or 6, my mom had to buy pants for me in the husky section. And just doing that, I remember bawling, and I don't even know if that still exists now. Thank goodness. I hope they took that away. But, kids now still start to go through that. And there's so much value on the media and magazines and Instagram and looking thin. I mean, it starts so young, like you're saying, Shauna.
Yeah, I remember a time, I don't know if they still do this in schools, but they would weigh us. And so we'd all line up, we'd get in a line, and they would weigh us one by one. And so everyone in class would see how much you weighed. And I will never forget that day. It's like a nightmare.
What is the logic behind that? Like, you have your own physical. I don't understand why we need that at school.
I don't either.
I can't say they were doing that in our Ohio school, but that doesn't mean other parts of the Midwest they weren't.
Oh man. So this has been a journey. I'm sure it's been fast and furious for you because your blog is beautiful. Your website is beautiful. Your just the way that you go about sharing all of your tips and inspiration and motivation and the humor behind it. I mean, it really is. It looks like you've been around doing this for way longer than a year. So coming from your side, do you feel like it's been fast and furious, or how has the developmental and kind of those stages gone for you internally? And how did you push through some of that fear, just taking the jump and getting out there and doing it? I mean, brunch with drinks always helps, and a good supportive group of friends to go out there and take the leap. But I mean, like you said, you're thinking about it for a year, which I totally get.
Yeah. I think it's different for everyone, but for me, I learn by doing things, and I can think about it and think about it and think about it, but I just have to go do it. And I started the blog. I had no clue what I was doing. And so I just did it. There's no other easy way to do it, but you can think about it and plan and do all the research and the background and all of that. But at the end of the day, you just have to make the steps. And maybe that's a baby step every day. But you know, I just had to learn something. And even if it's just learn something new every day, or listen to a podcast episode every day, that's going to help you learn something, or, you know, read articles, or, you know, however your learning process is, you know, for me, it's just doing it. And I don't learn unless I can't read an article or an instruction, a list of instructions, and know how to do something. There's a disconnect with my brain for some reason. So I just do it. And, you know, unfortunately I learn by mistakes, but hopefully I'll never make those again.
Well, whatever disconnect you have going on in your brain is working out perfectly. So let it stay that way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I think without mistakes, I mean, that's how we learn, you know, I mean, we get really hard on ourselves for those mistakes, and those like kind of like I call them hangover vulnerability kind of moments the next day and things like that, which I see you're like, yeah, I get it. But I mean, it's those mistakes that really help us to learn and grow even faster. So yeah, I know you're doing a wonderful, wonderful job out there. Can you please share with all of our viewers about where they can find you and get these motivational and inspirational and lifestyle tips?
Sure. So you can find me on my actual website, which is just thechicischchick.com. And then I have Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest all linked there. Or you can find me separately on all of those channels. And it's just the Chicish Chick, and it's spelled Chic, CHICISH, Chick with a K. So that's where you can find me.
So adorable. You know, before we,
sorry, Shauna, I have to ask, tell us about your name. Tell us a little bit about the story behind it.
So to me, chic is like the ultimate compliment. You know, it's what you want to look like. It's how you want to be. It's like the ideal in your brain. You know, if someone said, if I overheard a conversation about me and someone said, oh, she's so chic, I would just die inside. I'd be like, oh, but I'm not chic, I'm chic-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I've said this before, you know, I'll enjoy a flight of craft beers, but I will drink a Mick Ultra any day of the week. You know, I get dressed up for work. I love to put together outfits, but when I come home, I'm wearing, you know, old dirty sweats that I've had for years and years and years. So it's like that balance of, you know, you enjoy the chic things, but, you know, it's not in my blood really at the end of the day when it comes down to it. So that's how I came up with the name.
So good. I love it. Yeah, I can completely relate to it. Yeah. Sweatpants all the time.
Megan, so, you know, when Renee and I started the Red Bra, we saw it as something, it was a conversation that we had, that this is something that makes you feel empowered when you walk in a room, that feeling that you're talking about. So when you think about it as your superhero cape, what do you think is your Red Bra moment?
I would say just starting the blog. You know, it was really scary for me to put myself out there and to put aside all of those feelings of, you know, what are people going to think? Are people going to get my humor? Are people going to enjoy my content? Can I write? You know, what if I make a mistake? It's just, you know, doing that, making that first step and really doing that. And then, you know, starting to gain momentum from there, I would say is probably my biggest Red Bra moment to date. So yeah.
Perfect.
For sure.
Congrats. You've been doing a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we love hearing about the Red Bra moments, and so many of them are exactly what you say. It's just taking that first step, which is often the scariest, because after you get the ball rolling, you know, if you know you put it out there, everything else tends to fall into place, or you figure it out and you make mistakes and you learn and you grow. But it's that first step. And I love that it sounds as simple as that, but it's not simple when you're doing it and taking it. So it's a huge moment. So congratulations to you. Cheers to you, raising our glass, our beer, our tea. That's right.
No wine tonight, but I do have beer.
Excellent. And so we like to end every one of our episodes with a quote. Before I do, though, I want to ask you about one more thing, because I know that I can see it through your Instagram page and on your blog and stuff. But what are your thoughts and feelings about laughter and humor, and kind of how that's worked into your kind of masterpiece that you're creating?
Yeah, I think right now, especially, we are in such a serious time, and you know, you read comments on Facebook, and you know, people can be just really nasty to each other. And so I think everyone deserves to kind of just take a breath and take a step back and just have a laugh. You know, I think, you know, everyone is going through something different, and there's a lot of people that are going through hard times right now, whether that's, you know, they lost a job, or, you know, they're struggling with infertility, or, you know, you name it. You know, everyone is going through something different. And if I can just provide a little break in their day where they can just have a laugh, and I really think laughter is the best medicine. And, you know, it can really help lift people up, and just, you know, it's good for so many things. And it's just something I feel really strongly about.
Absolutely. It feels so good not to take everything so seriously, even when we do mess up or we do rumble bumble, so we just laugh about it. You know, it's like less stress.
Yeah. And I do that too. I get so worked up about certain things, or I'm really hard about myself in certain ways, or if I, you know, make a mistake somewhere, or, you know, I don't proofread something correctly, I get really hung up on those things. But at the end of the day, you just kind of have to laugh it off, and, you know, appreciate that we're all human, and, you know, we're all going to make mistakes. So.
For sure. And you are not alone every day. So, yes. So like I said, we wrap every show up with a quote. And so for you, I picked a very bold woman who is often very humorous as well, and a role model, especially during her time. So a quote from Lucille Ball: "I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things that I haven't done." So
yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Very flattered. Thank you.
So you go to bed with that tonight.
And for all of our viewers, we're going to make sure to link up all of the ways that you can reach Megan and follow her and really enjoy her inspirational content, as well as get some of those affordable fashion tips, which I'm looking forward to, especially being a traveler. And you can even subscribe for her emails, which are fantastic. So I'm telling you, to take it, like, lighten your day up a little bit. Megan is our girl here. So thank all of you guys. Please, as you're listening to this video or you're watching it, make sure to hit like, share it with somebody who you think can benefit. And as always, the whole party happens over at our Instagram page at the Red Bra Project. So come on over there. All the ways to contact us and even submit your own story are on there as well. We feature women from all over the globe sharing their stories and their journeys and adversities. And that's how we all learn, grow, and support with each other. So Megan, thank you so much again. Shauna,
thank you.
Better girl.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.